I saw a post on Facebook this morning that this guy got the back end of his truck, his brand new ZR2, run into, and the other driver took off. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of people, their vehicle is the biggest purchase they'll ever make, second to maybe a house. Now, I want to be able to protect this as best as I can, and while dash cams really don't protect the vehicle per se, that's, bumpers and defensive driving, but cameras help you identify the other driver or who's at fault when you do get into an accident. Now, you can absolutely run some sort of a GoPro or some sort of 360 cam and just click record every time you get in the car, but what if you forget to do that and you get in an accident? If you guys are like me and you're searching through YouTube for your next modification or part for your truck, you know that it's pretty common to watch a dozen different really terrible videos until you find a good video that answers the questions that you have on the product or part that you're looking for. Well, I hope that this video is going to be that 12th or 13th one that you finally found some value in. I actually want to test out compare two different dash cam options for your 23 and newer Colorado or Canyon. If you guys remember back last year, I did a video on my Wolfbox G900. It is a mirror replacement dash cam. I love it, but there's a couple things that I don't quite like about it, and we'll definitely compare that against this other one. But let me get the other box and I'll show you guys what FitCam sent me. Now that I've lost about half my viewership saying that somebody sent me a box of parts, you guys get to hang out with me for the next couple minutes. I am genuinely curious about this camera, how it fits, how it works, and how it compares to my Wolfbox, which I have in my truck and my wife's Trailblazer. I really like the mirror replacement, but there's a couple things that I don't, and that is that the area that houses like the camera and whatnot blocks the view in my Canyon. Now, it doesn't do that in the Trailblazer because all it is a single mount. This replaces that little cover behind the stock mirror. Really doesn't require any of the extra wiring and whatnot that we had to do back in that other video. I'll put a link to the Wolfbox video that you guys can go check out at the end of this one, but this will be a apples to apples comparison as closely as I can get to comparing the two. FitCam did send this out to me and they said, hey, make the video, send us it, we'll check it and see if we'll let you air it on YouTube. Well, respectfully, FitCam, I'm not going to go through that process and let you get to censor my videos. You guys are going to see this probably before FitCam will. I did bargain with them a little bit and I got you guys a discount for this. If you want to do this, I'll also have an Amazon link for the Wolfbox. I've reached out to Wolfbox 4 or 5 times and haven't heard back from them at all, but I got you guys a discount for the FitCam and I'll have an Amazon link for the Wolfbox as well. Alright, in the box we get another box. This must be the dash cam. Specialized KOL to shoot installation of video. They sent me a freaking creator bundle. That's cool. Wonder what that is. Looks like a little suction cup. Interesting. Probably a firmware, USB stick, panel tool, and the harness. Now, I did stipulate that I wanted a rear camera for this install so that I can compare it to the Wolfbox. So this is what you guys are here for. This right here is the replacement panel for your rear view mirror. The couple videos that I have seen of this, I really like the fit and finish because of the way the mirror sits. You don't even see this at all. You have your power, I guess. I don't know why you'd want to turn it off, but you get your power button and maybe you're going to your mistress house and you want to turn off the dash cam and not get caught. You do you, boo-boo. Camera mode, so you can reach up there and take a snapshot. I don't know why you'd really want to do that unless you needed to remember what the where the video was. It might flag it kind of like the Wolfbox does. We won't get into the Wolfbox install because I've got an entire video on that, but the installation of this FitCam promises to be a lot easier than the Wolfbox, we still have to run the wires all the way around the cab to get to the back window, and I'm going to stick the FitCam right here at the back of the glass, literally about 2 inches lower than the Wolfbox, so we'll have the best chance possible of having both cameras have the same footage. Now, in my Wolfbox video, I installed this OEM mount. This is beyond the kind of stock style that you kind of rubber band over the mirror, and that's how you get your mirror. I didn't like that in my Scion, and I said, to heck with it, I'm gonna get the OEM mount. It's like 20 bucks to make this look as clean as possible. And I love this mirror, this dash cam mirror, but I want to find out if the FitCam is any better. You get in here with your panel tool and pop this little center cover out, and then I think other guys in these install videos been having issues with this FitCam here, but if you just kind of pull it out to the side either way, real gently, and it'll slide forward, and the sum total of our disassembly is pretty much done, less one little connector right there. Now, since I don't have the factory mirror anymore, I've got the Wolfbox, this isn't plugged into the mirror. For you guys, if you're looking at doing this and retaining your stock mirror, this will be plugged into the back of your mirror. What you're going to end up doing is plugging this into the harness that FitCam provided us, and then this plug goes back into your stock mirror. I like the fact that they've got foam on all the plugs, so it really keeps everything nice and quiet and rattling around when you're off-roading, goofing off. So, long wire here is the rear cam. You guys can see. The front cam goes into a little intermediate harness here, and we got a little dust blinking lights in. I have the truck on, so let me load up the app and let's see how quickly I can connect to this. Connecting to the FitcamX. Hey, get in the yard. Thank you. Good puppies. You guys can see my camera rig in the truck here. That's high quality right there, guys. Yeah, app doesn't seem too bad, too clunky or whatnot. Pretty simple looking app. Something I just learned that's a little bit super frustrating for me is that I had to disconnect my phone from my truck, the infotainment system, through the head unit here. I had to disconnect it in order to Wi-Fi into the camera to get the footage. Well, the truck's going to be on in order to get the camera to be on, so now I have to disconnect from the head unit, the infotainment system, just to Wi-Fi into this. Now, I have the G900 Wolfbox, and the G900 Pro is also wireless. The G900 is not. And I thought that I would like that feature, but at this point, I'm kind of liking the idea of not having the wireless in this whole setup here, because you just pop the SD card out, put it in your computer, and offload your footage. Granted, if you're in an accident or you need to pass that along to the police officer or whatever at that time, it'd be nice to be able to just pull the select footage off of the camera and retain your card. Honestly, SD cards are cheap. Just give the guys the cards and let them sort it out, especially if it's not your fault. So far, the wireless is a little bit of a frustration point for me, trying to get the Wi-Fi to work on the phone into the FitCam, and I'm sure the Wolfbox would be the exact same thing, having to disconnect from the infotainment to get access to the wireless feature of the G900 Pro. It's probably a tie as far as the two cameras here are concerned. So the rear camera is a separate option when you guys go to purchase these, but this is a little sticky mount, and you get a nice big long extension cable and a whole mess of these cable sticky ties, but we're going to hide it up under the headliner like we did in the Wolfbox. Don't mind the board. I hooked up the rear camera without the extension harness to see which direction the camera needed to face. And I got to talking to my camera and questioned whether or not this camera is waterproof. That would be, you know, a pretty big sell to be able to put this outside of the vehicle wherever you want it, and it turns out they're not waterproof. So this has to go on the back glass. If we were to do it on the passenger side, on the rear passenger side glass, it would have to be out of the way of the sliding glass window. That said, if you put it on the rear glass in the center, you'd have to scooch it over if you had the Bison kind of rear spare tire mount, but that's not a big deal. this has to go on the glass, and your wiring now has to accommodate that rear slider glass going side to side. Now, if you've got the solid rear glass, or you just never intend on opening your back window, well, that's not a big deal. One thing that I do like about FitCam that I just learned now reading through the website is they have polarizing lenses for the front camera, which I think is really freaking cool. I use the one on my camera right now. The polarizer helps glare from windshields. For the sake of comparison, we're going to install this here camera, put it as centered as possible on the defrost lines. I hope that doesn't affect anything. And then we'll just have to route the wires up here into the headliner so that we don't have any issues with them getting cut or chafed or whatnot when we want to open and close this window. I'm actually not going to run all the wires like I did for the Wolfbox because I really don't know which one I want to keep, and so I also want to get this video done as quickly as possible. So I'm going to route these wires down, around, and over and through, and it's going to look like garbage for a day or two while I test this out. Cleaning up all my junk from my last video, last couple weeks of truck, and hey! I found my 10 mil. Heck yeah! Now you guys can't see anything with my phone mount for my dash grid here. I'll hide that out of the way for you guys. Alright, so I've got the wires routed very, very beautifully. And we're gonna kind of test this guy out here. I hook up our camera just like that, and all we got to do is clip this in place and make sure all of these wires stay hidden. Shouldn't be too hard at all. Let's see. I'm sure some FitCam engineer is cursing me out right now trying to fit all these wires for both cameras up here, but that's the whole point of this video, is to compare two of the most popular cameras for this truck, or two most popular options for dash cams for this truck, and I'm sure you guys want to know which one's better. So I'm gonna do my absolute best to hide all this stuff up inside of here and go on a test drive. So there is your installed product, nice and tight up to the glass. Little tiny bit of movement, but not that bad. Dash cam wires came out the back nice and easy. We'll just hide those up above the headliner, and then obviously these are my Wolfbox wires that have to go through the gap down here. But beyond that, I was able to fit all of my wires in the FitCam housing, which stands to reason because this is modeled after the factory one, so it should, in theory, work. I know I'm asking a lot. This was actually a really tough part of the Wolfbox install, if you guys remember watching that video. Just getting this guy to fit with all the 4 different brands of crap up in here. Alright, I got everything closed up. I did not put the Wolfbox's wires up inside there, but you guys can see it's working now. There we go. Alright, so the Wolfbox should boot up now. We've got our blinking lights here, and you guys can see in the Wolfbox, a little tiny bit of the corner up here of that footage gets blocked. This now blocks part of my camera, but before, just this little bit would block in the Wolfbox here. So now we have a dash cam view that's farther forward, and you guys are going to just have to disregard this being in the way of the Wolfbox footage when we compare it. Kind of find it funny that FitCam thought I was going to shoot this entire video on a freaking cell phone. I have yet to use my cell phone on this video. You guys are on the 5th camera, not including, run over here, actually test out these dash cams and these people driving by too fast. Thank you, sir. Basically, got my 360, got my GoPro, Sony, and my 2 dash cams. Something I'm noticing right now, I cannot see the FitCam behind the mirror at all.
I think that's kind of cool. Can't see it at all.
I'm actually rather curious how these two dash cams work on audio as well, because at the moment I've got all my windows down, and I want to see how these two sound, as well as how they take video. You guys can see the FitcamX does block the Wolfbox just a little bit, but keep that in mind as we're watching the rest of this video. I don't mind the mirror cover blocking the Wolfbox just because I don't foresee anybody coming out from the upper right hand portion of my screen and hitting my truck. Yes, baby. We all meet up at the same place so that we can all be together when we go to travel to the trail. We got invited to do a mild snow wheeling run, and I thought this would be a really good test to see how these cameras fare with the really bright white snow. I'll tell you what though, talking about testing the sound quality of these two cameras, they picked up my son's crying really, really well all day long. One thing I am noticing is that the Wolfbox seems to be a bit more saturated in color and a little bit wider of an angle. Despite having more sky viewable in the Wolfbox and more hood viewable in the FitCam, both seem to do the job quite well of recording footage both front and rear of the truck. Here we come to one of my biggest gripes with the Wolfbox rear camera. The color is super far off of what it should be, and if I want to use this footage in videos like you guys have seen here on the channel, it takes a lot of work to edit it to make it match what you think it should be, like the FitCam. Points to FitCam for having a properly color graded looking rear camera. This poor guy got his F-150 stuck in the middle of the road here, and I hung back so that my buddy Aaron could do the recovery real quick. This footage is actually zoomed in 4x here in my editor, and you guys comment below. Let me know which one you think is better at this point. I'll tell you which one is which here in just a second. The FitCam is definitely more clear, but the Wolfbox does seem to have a bit more saturation and contrast. This side-by-side decided to pass us coming off the trail, and you can see the Wolfbox there on the right. Even though it's a little bit more grainy and a little more saturated, you can still see the side-by-side a lot clearer due to the higher contrast in low light. Speaking of low light, I'm going to have to give Wolfbox the win on this. It is considerably clearer, and something that you guys will see here in this next clip, the FitCam actually seems to have some significant motion blur you can see up there in the trees. The FitCam matches my editing software at 30 frames a second, where the Wolfbox is 24. This might explain why the Wolfbox is a little bit brighter. Unlike the rear camera, the front-facing FitCam seems to get pretty blown out with the oncoming traffic headlights at night. You'll notice here the saturation is absolutely way better on the Wolfbox versus the rear-facing FitCam, which nearly seems black and white. Even though the Wolfbox does seem to be oversaturated during the day, it absolutely makes up for it at night. Well, now it's your guys' turn to determine whether or not you like the Wolfbox or the FitCam. I do like the clarity and the fit and finish of the FitCam housing, but I also like the functionality of having the live view of the rear camera in the mirror as the dash cam as well in the Wolfbox. I do like the fact that FitCam has offered a very clean dash cam option, but the rear camera really lacks in the ability to be outside. Even though the view's pretty good from the window, I just don't like the fact that I got to deal with the slider as well as the camera. Now, I've been running this Wolfbox for about a year now, and I've really enjoyed it, especially having the live rear camera view in the back of the truck here on the mirror so that I can actually see behind the truck a lot better than the stock mirror. Because of the headrests and just the small back window, it is very hard to see out the back of the truck, and I like having that nice wide camera view. While you won't be able to do that with the FitCam, it is a much easier and cleaner install. Really curious to find out what you guys think is best of these kind of two OEM looking dash cams, the mirror replacement of the Wolfbox or the FitCam with replacing that housing and it basically hiding behind your mirror and you can't see it. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate everyone you guys sticking to these videos. I hope this was a very informative and helpful video for you to make an educated decision on which dash cam you are going to use to protect your truck. Hopefully you guys never have to use the footage, but better to have it and not need it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.